changed the word since to although, the answer changed. Although the students already knew the format and content of the test, they found it quite difficult. So in your fill in the blank questions, in your sentence equivalence and text completion questions, in the sentence itself, there will be what is called as contextual information that you need to notice, that you need to interpret, you need to pinpoint. But along with these contextual information, in many of the text completion and sentence equivalence questions, there will be what is called as structural clues. Words like since and although are planted roughly around about 60 to 70% of your sentences, so that using them you can actually know what direction to take. Because a word like since tells you to go straight forward, add up the information and go for the answer. Since they know the format and content, because they know the format and content, as they know the format and content, they found the test to be quite predictable. But the moment you said although, even though, in spite of knowing the format and content of the test, they found it quite difficult. Now such words on the fill in the blank questions on the GRE, they are called as the rote signs. The rote signs of sentence equivalence and text completion questions. Tell me, what is the purpose of a rote sign? What does a rote sign give us? When you're traveling from point A to point B, what do you follow in order to reach that point B? The direction. What provides you the direction? The road signs, right? You follow the road signs to reach your destination. On your sentence completion questions and text completion questions and sentence equivalence questions, the road signs are these kind of words, which are the trigger words given to you by the test maker. You need to follow their direction to be able to reach what is our destination, the missing word. So we need to follow their direction. That's why such words are called as the road signs. Now, road signs can be like since, like and, like for, like because. That tells you, you need to follow the direction in which you go. That you need to add up the information to get the correct answer. Such words are called as thought extenders. What are they called? Thought extenders. Words like although, but, yet, despite, in spite of, they are called as thought contrasters. They are called as thought contrasters. Now these thought extenders and contrasters not only help us in following the right direction in order to reach the missing word, but these thought extenders and contrasters can also help us to save time. Now let's talk about time. Time management skill is the most important skill you have to learn in order to be able to do the test on time. If you don't do the test on time, you're given a penalty by the test maker. Right? So time management becomes a major challenge. So whatever techniques we learn in order to save time becomes a huge help for us when we are dealing with the time. So the extenders and contrasters many times help us to do what is called as the process of elimination. We call it as the POE. What is this process of elimination? You have in a sentence equivalence question 6 options. You read the sentence, read the blank, then you go to the option A, place it in the blank, read the whole sentence, it doesn't sound right. You reject A, then you go to B. B doesn't sound right after you put it in the blank. You take C and you place it. How much time does it take to take 6 options and place them in the blank and keep reading them? So the best way of dealing with such a situation is to train ourselves to eliminate choices without having to waste our time. There are various ways in which you can eliminate the choices. Based on the context, you can understand what is not appropriate and you can eliminate. But many times, following the directions given to you by these thought extenders and contrasters also will help you to eliminate the choices without having to break your head over all the choices. So, let us say I give you a very simple situation. Suppose I say, he is honest and dash. He is honest but dash. I give you two choices, miserly and generous. So tell me, he is honest and generous. He is honest but miserly. What told you the answer is generous here? What were the clues in the sentence that told you the answer is generous? And. So and is a thought extender, but by itself and does not tell you the answer is generous. What is going before and? The word honest, right? The word honest precedes the word and. Now honest is a positive word. And is an extension. So the inference to be drawn from this is that you need another positive word for the blank. Now you had two choices, miserly and generous. Miserly is stingy, a person who never spends his money. Generous is a person who is large-hearted, large-handed, charitable. So the positive word was generous and you chose to give me the positive word here. Now he is honest but miserly. Now here honest but thought contraster. Honest is positive. So the inference is we need a negative word for the blank. So you chose to give me the word miserly. Now suppose you're doing a question like this and you're looking out for a negative word for the blank. What are the options you can eliminate right away? Positive words. Exactly. You can eliminate choices which are positive. Suppose I give you miserly, generous, I give you, let us say, courageous, intelligent, and then I give you option deceitful as well. So we have 5 choices here. We are looking out for a negative word. So I retain miserly because it's negative. I eliminate generous because it's positive. I eliminate courageous, brave as positive. I eliminate intelligent as positive. I retain deceitful, who's dishonest, untruthful as one of the options which are negative. Now you need to make a final selection. You have to select one of these two. On what basis would you select now? Just because it's a negative word doesn't mean it has to be the correct answer. On what basis would you now select the correct word? On the basis of the context of the sentence. Here simply we are told he is honest. Your logic, your reasoning, your common sense should tell you an honest person cannot also be deceitful, dishonest. So this negative word gets ruled out because contextually it does not make sense. So what is left? Yes, one can be honest but still be a miserly person, a stingy person. So therefore you end up selecting your first choice, which is miserly. So you see, therefore process of elimination is a possibility when you have these kind of extenders and contrasters. Contextually also, when you get an idea that this is the kind of word, I said when you read the sentence you critically evaluate, assess the content, add up the clues, and you make up a word picture in your mind about what is needed for the blank. Look at the options. When those words in the options do not anyway fit into your concept of the word, try to keep them aside and then put the other words in the blank and see whether they make sense. If they don't, then go to the rejected options and put them, because words are very tricky. Words do not have the same meaning many times within the context as well. A positive word can become something else in a context. Remember, always words are very tricky. So never ever be hasty in elimination. But eliminate, work with the options that you're looking at. If those don't work, look at the other options as well. Okay, now let me give you a situation where I'm trying to show you how being over hasty in elimination also can be an issue in your fill in the blank questions. For example, let us say I have a situation like this. So here we are given a sentence which gives us a fact. What was the fact? He was caught taking a bribe. Is that a good thing to do? That was a dishonest, corrupt thing to do. So what do you think would have been the impact of this action on his reputation? Now let's talk about reputation. What do you understand by your reputation? Your name, your standing in the society, how people view you is your reputation. So would the impact on his reputation, the fact that he was caught taking a bribe, be positive or negative? So first of all, we classify that we need something negative. Let's conceive a word for the blank. Let's think about what could be a possible word. Let me start by telling you the fact that he was taking a bribe damaged his reputation. Anything else? Hurt his reputation. Tarnished his reputation. Spoiled his reputation. Got that? So we know that we are looking out for something that goes along with this kind of ideas. Now let's look at the choices provided. Now we have 5 choices before us. We are looking out for a word that says that something, the action of taking the bribe, this something has damaged his reputation. So first and foremost, the word enhanced, which is extremely positive. What is an enhancement? Any kind of increase in one's stature, in position, in one's, let's say, standing would be an enhancement. Definitely taking a bribe would not have enhanced his name. So we are going to rule it out as totally inappropriate for the option. Now what is ameliorated? Now ameliorated is one of those typical GRE words that you have to learn in order to ace this test. Ameliorate is a word that is used for any kind of improvement in the condition. When the condition is bad, when you do something to improve it and the condition becomes better, we say it has become ameliorated. For example, let's say there is a flood. The people of that region are suffering. Their houses are washed away, their fields have been inundated with water, they have no access to food. So what does the government do? It sends salvage teams, rescue operations are going on, money is given to the people, health camps are set up, food is distributed, their fields are drying up. So over a period of time, what happens with all this help? Their condition becomes ameliorated. It improves because of the help given to them at that time. So any situation which becomes from bad to better, we use the word ameliorated. So will that be possible in this blank? Now this is a positive word. This is also a very positive word. So we rule it out. What about exterminated? What is the meaning of the word exterminate? To wipe out, to completely, totally destroy, annihilate is exterminate. Is that positive or negative? So we'll retain it. What about the word compromised? What do you do when you compromise? Positive. 2 political parties which want to win the election many times compromise on their ideologies and philosophies, join hands to fight the election and win it. So many times when you compromise, you reach an understanding, you come to an agreement. So you think it's positive. So let us eliminate it. What about mitigated? Mitigate, another typical GRE word. Mitigate is a situation where again it becomes reduced. Any negative thing that gets reduced becomes mitigated. For example, I took a painkiller. What does the painkiller do to my pain? It reduces my pain. It relieves me of that pain. So my pain gets mitigated because of taking a painkiller. I have great financial problems. The bank gave me a loan. So by getting the loan, some of my problems got